Welcome to the Adult Crash Podcast! Episode 1 of them. Which episode is this? 8? 9?
I think. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up our YouTube.
God damn it! I'm so poorly prepared.
Oh, you know what? No, it's on our Instagram. Hold on, because I label it.
This is episode 9.
It's
yeah,
episode
fuck
9.
you. It's episode 9. I knew it.
What did I say? I'm just. It's episode 9. There you go.
I know. There we go. That's not. Wait, that's not a fuck you to you. It's just like a general fuck you. That was a fuck.
The ubiquitous you.
It was a directionless fuck you. It was not meant for you. But that was
I took it personally.
Look,
I was like, hey,
if
man.
I yelled fuck you in a crowded theater, someone would turn around and be like, fuck you too, buddy. And that has nothing to do with anyone. It was just an expelled fuck you to the entire movie theater.
I've done that before. When I went to see, I saw Endgame opening night, and like the guy. So there was a guy next to Jeremy, and him and his brother were having a conversation, and I fucking like Jeremy looks pissed, and I just leaned right across Jeremy's lap, and I say to the guy, I was like, "Yo, shut the fuck up," and then he did.
Good.
And then like the guy next to me was talking, I told him to shut the fuck up, and then like. People like after the movie ended, people were acting all pissy, and then there was a guy in front of us who pulled his phone out in the middle of the movie, and I was like, and this fucking asshole pulled his phone out. I was like, this is opening night. You don't do that shit on. Like, I was really pissed, and I was just yelling at people.
This is why I don't go to movies opening night. People take it too
yelling
seriously.
at people.
Dude, the grossest thing that I think happened to me in a movie theater was I think I was going to see one of the, like, what's the Mr. Bean movie that isn't the Bean movie and isn't,
Johnny English?
Yeah, I was seeing Johnny English, and I'm just sitting there chilling. Not very many people in this movie theater, but there's enough.
No.
There's enough. And I start feeling like this warm thing on the fucking back of my arm, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I'm just chilling, and I was like, all right, I kind of like scratched my arm, and I was like, all right, can't be much of nothing. I'm wearing a tank top, by the way, in the movie theater. And I look back, this chick takes her shoes off, and she's using my seat as a footrest, and her bare ass fucking foot is on the back of my tricep. And I was just like, whoa, hey, yo. There's no one sitting in the seat to the left of me. You could rest your feet there. And she's like,
ew.
And she literally said, my feet aren't up on there. And I just like turned around again, and I looked at the foot on my arm, and I looked at her legs, and I was like, well, that is one hell of a magic trick. Because to me, like, this is clearly an illusion, and I'm wrong. But those feet are connected to those ankles, which are connected to your legs, which are connected to you. But these aren't your feet. Bet. All right, cool. So I'm going to go back to watching this movie while your jagged-ass toenails are rubbing up on my fucking arm and pretend that they're not yours. And I turned around, and then her boyfriend was like, oh, is there a problem? And I was like, yes. You're Chris... Because at the time, Chris Angel was really popular. I was like, yeah, your Chris Angel girlfriend over here is doing some kind of witchcraft, putting magical feet that aren't hers on people's arms. It's fucking gross, but very interesting that she can pull off this kind of illusion in this setting. He told me to go fuck myself, and I said, I can't believe I'm going to get in a fight at a Mr. Bean movie that 10 people want to go see.
That's funny, because I saw that movie. I saw the first one, because they made two.
They made two, yeah.
I saw the first one in theaters too.
You know, I can't tell you a bit about what happened in Johnny English, but I will always remember that some chick put her nasty fucking feet on my arm, and I almost got into a fist fight in the movie theater watching Johnny English.
Dude, whenever I'm at the movies, I'm always ready to fight. Like,
it's a dark room, and you know how long it's going to take for security to get in there?
Well, there's that, but also it's like you paid good money to watch this fucking movie, and there's this fucking asshole who's not adhering to the etiquette. Like, that's fucked up. Like, we went to see Black Panther. I'll never forget this because I was an asshole again, and this time I was an asshole to a kid. It was a packed theater, and there's this kid sitting next to me, and every trailer, he's talking. He's talking through every fucking trailer.
My man.
He's just fucking yapping. Oh, that looks so cool. Oh, that's that character. Oh, that's that character. Oh, that's that character.
It's trailers. Why are you so uppity about trailers?
I'm not, but I'm worried that he's going to be doing this through the whole fucking movie that I want to watch.
Okay.
And dude, I have ADD, so like if somebody's talking, I'm going to like look and I'm going to miss something.
Okay.
Cuz it happened when I saw the fucking Last Jedi. I'll get into that in a second.
Oh no.
So this kid, every trailer, and also, by the way, I like the trailers. I want to watch the trailers.
I like I like the trailers too, but
Look.
enjoying the trailer is a communal part of the movie. It's the one time where everyone can yap.
I disagree.
No.
But the trailers, I mean, like if you're having like a conversation that's like, you know, between you and your like whoever you're at the movie with. Like me and Jeremy talk through the trailers.
Yeah.
But we're not yapping loudly about the trailer. Interrupting other people's time. We're talking about, oh, that looks cool, or oh, that looks sick, or I want to see that, or like, or I'll know a trivial fact about the movie. I'll be like, oh, this happened on that movie. And they'll be like, whoa, but I'm not like yelling like, oh, it's that character and that character and that character. So the kid next to me, it's like he's one of like 10 kids, and the parent with that group is all the way at the other end.
So you picked on a kid knowing the parent wouldn't hear you.
Yeah. So
classic bitch move.
During the third trailer,
Yeah.
I look at him and I go, "Hey man, are you going to do this through the entire movie?" And he goes like this. No. He shut the fuck up for the rest of the movie.
Yo,
I saved it.
It would have been hilarious if like as soon as the movie starts the kid just goes, "And you know who the Black Panther is?" Just like he just sits there and like sucks it up for like the first like run of like the trailers, but like as soon as like they get to that opening scene in Oakland, he just starts yapping about random facts about Oakland.
Look, man, I don't.
The Raiders moved from there.
I've never complained to management about a damn thing. I'm not a snitch. But if that kid had talked through that movie, I would have gotten him kicked the fuck out. Fuck that shit.
Wow.
Look, dude,
you take movies so seriously in movie theaters.
I do. They're a passion of mine, dude.
Yeah.
I love movies. So like if somebody's gonna be fucking rude like that, it pisses me off. Like at The Last Jedi, me and Jeremy saw that opening night as well, and there's this family, and there's 3 kids, and they did not shut up throughout the entire fucking movie. Not one bit. That's like a 2.5 hour movie, dude. And they did not stop talking the whole time. And they just were talking about the movie amongst themselves. And it's like, they're right behind me. They're very loud. Their parents shushed them every time. But it's like, after give them 4. It's a 2-hour movie. They're kids. After the 4th shush, get them the fuck out of the theater. Like,
well, remember, they paid money too.
Yeah, but they're also disrupting everybody else who paid money's time.
True.
Like
I don't know if you can like you as a mad customer could go to a movie manager, or I don't know what they're called, manager of movies, and you can go to him and be like, "Sir, someone talked behind me the entire time and I had to leave. I feel like shit about it." And he could be like, "Yo, my man, I'm sorry. Here's a ticket for another showing." In the reverse, though,
I didn't even think about that.
No, but like, imagine being the parent of a kid and be like, "Hey, sir, I can't get my kid to shut the fuck up, and I gotta leave this movie. Can I have 4 tickets back?" He'd laugh at her and be like, "No, get your kid to shut the fuck up and go back in the movie."
Well, yeah, I kind of agree with that attitude because here's the thing, man. Like when I have kids, which is probably going to happen, I'm going to teach them movie etiquette, but I know that you're going to be like, "Oh, good luck when they're young." I'm not taking them to a fucking movie
Well,
until they're older.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that movie etiquette is just a social
But
construct that we don't
but
necessarily have to adhere to.
I disagree. I think everybody should, and that's why I
But
take it.
what is
But
your movie etiquette versus someone else's movie etiquette? Like being able to
I
talk and have a good time during a movie, especially in downtime. I don't know. Could be a good
I mean,
time.
like I told you, conversation amongst yourselves, that's fine.
Mhm.
But like talking like at the fucking trailer, the kid just annoyed the shit out of me.
I don't know. I
And
did expel "Oh Chewie, no" when I
well, I
thought he
told
got blown up in
you
that movie.
that's not the Last Jedi. That's the Rise of
Which
Skywalker.
Rise
That's
of
a bad
Skywalker.
movie.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
a bad
In Rise
movie.
of Skywalker, when I thought Chewbacca died, I did exclaim, "Oh no, Chewie!"
Well,
I
I'm not
was,
saying you can't react to the movie because I
yeah.
told you opening night at Endgame, I'm screaming along with everybody else when Cap gets the hammer. I'm like, yeah,
But that's a communal thing now at that point.
that's a communal
And
thing.
all of
That's
you
a
have
communal thing.
agreed that that is acceptable to all scream in the movie.
Yeah, but if you're having a full volume conversation
Hmm.
during a quiet part of the movie
Yeah.
where dialogue is hard to hear, shut the fuck up.
Oh, well, I had a similar problem when I went to go see The Witch. That's a quiet fucking movie. Someone,
Very quiet movie.
no one was talking, but this guy was eating chips so slowly and with his mouth wide the fuck open. Where it was
Have
literally
you-
like I would be watching the movie and all of a sudden I would just hear and like I knew he knew how loud it was, but he was also like, I bought this bag of chips and I'm gonna fucking eat it, so I'm gonna try to be as quiet as possible. And every little bite was just louder than the last one. And I'm like, damn, dude, I really want to pay attention to this movie, but it's cracking me up how quiet this guy is trying to be, and he's somehow being louder.
Have you seen A Quiet Place?
No, I haven't. The premise
Me and-
to me, the sound is just so stupid.
Dude,
Which is why
it's in it. No. You whatever like preconceived notions of this movie you have, you just know that you're fucking wrong. The movie's incredible.
I just
It's-
know you can't
it's-
make any noise.
It's well, yeah, you got to be quiet when you watch it. So
Mhm.
funny story. Me and Jerm saw that in theaters.
Mhm.
I've mentioned Jerm like 10 times, but I can't help it.
That's
he's
10,
like-
10 cents we owe him now.
he's my designated movie buddy. So
Mhm.
it's like any movie I go to, I'm going with him, or I'm dragging Ashley and him because we'll go all together if there's a movie he wants to see.
If you didn't live so far away, I'd go with you.
Yeah, dude, it'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be.
But we'd probably get into a fight with each other because you would do something that pissed me off.
Maybe. Probably. I'd keep leaning over and be like, what the fuck is this? This isn't Batman. Why'd you bring me to a movie
So-
without Batman in it?
So we're going to see A Quiet Place, and it's a very the whole premise is you can't make noise, so it's a
Mhm.
very quiet movie.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it, and I think he got it too. So I got popcorn,
I wouldn't bring
And he-
anything.
I think he got popcorn too. I don't remember. I just know that I had popcorn,
Mhm.
and like the movie started, I had one bite. And I just look like my eyes went like, and I looked at him. I did not take another bite the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing that. I didn't even think about it. But I had leftover popcorn, which I've never had before when I left the theater.
I've never had leftover popcorn. I've either
I always
spilt
finish
my
that
last
shit,
bit or I've thrown it away.
The Angelica Theater here, which is I don't know if you know what that is. It's sort of like a really like fancy hipster theater or whatever.
No, thank you.
I mean, it's like a decent like the seats are okay. The sound and the picture are great. It's a good place to see a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But like the seats are not as comfortable as like the Alamo or like AMC.
See, if they're really comfortable, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah.
So, like,
So I guess I bet you would like the Angelica. It's a nice. I'm not knocking it. It's
Mhm.
like just kind of like an upscale place because it's in like one of the fancy areas around here.
okay.
But it's like I mean movies are $13, which is comparable. Most
Mhm.
places it's like 15. So like it's not terrible.
Okay.
They have this thing where like you can like depending on what you order, like what popcorn you order, you can have like unlimited refills.
Oh, cool.
And I never get that because I don't leave a movie theater if I haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go see a movie again after the first, like, because sometimes I see movies more than once in theaters,
Mm-hmm.
or at least I used to before pre-pandemic. Um, I loved going there because I'd be like, refill, please.
Yeah.
Dude, I smash so much popcorn.
Have you double dipped in a movie theater before where you're like, I went to go see one movie and then I'm hanging out until the showing for the other movie that I also want to see, and I just walk into that theater and go see it?
I have not done that.
Oh, I used to do that a
I'm
lot
like,
when I was a teenager.
I've always been like too much of a rule follower, like a loser. So like,
Well, like, so you pick your spots, right? You don't do it as soon as a movie's like release weekend because you know it probably will sell out. But like, if I go
right.
see like a movie that like just came out, like at 2 in the afternoon, so by like 4, the movie that I also want to see that came out like a month ago, I could just
Yeah.
go walk into that theater because I just hang out until the next showing. You write it down on a piece of paper, and you're like, here we go. I'm gonna pop in there
True.
and I'm gonna watch this, and then I'll take the bus home.
That sounds nice.
That's what I.
That'd be nice.
That's
That'd,
bullshit I used to do in the summertime when I was younger.
that'd be a nice afternoon. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to go see Grindhouse in theaters, that was like a fucking 4-hour endeavor, and I went to a 10 o'clock showing.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you?
This is back when I drank, but I had I went to go see it, and we had snuck in. Each of us had snuck in an OE and a bottle of Jameson, and we were just like sipping away through the night, and we had a grand old time. I'm sure the staff knew what we were doing, and they just didn't give a shit.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, most movie theaters they're underpaid, so I don't think they really care that much.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not their fault if we get in trouble.
No. Yeah. But yeah, so I saw They Live in theaters. That's how this whole conversation started.
Yeah, well, I saw that was it the AFI is doing stuff again, so I'm trying to like go down there for some stuff. I just need to look at their schedule now that they're reopened.
I actually might go to the movies tomorrow for my birthday. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Me and Ashley talked about it. We'll see what happens. I don't know, but yeah, no, dude. Any preconceived notion you have about A Quiet Place, throw it out because it is like, it's like a roller coaster of emotion, but it's also like fucking, it's like it's like really good.
Okay.
I can't even. It's like super thrilling. It's super like suspenseful,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's got like a really nice family story in there too,
Okay.
which is really sweet.
On the complete opposite of that, I am trying to get up the fucking nerve and just will to watch Hereditary finally.
Dude,
Because I know all the things about it, but like I don't know enough about it to where it's been spoiled for me yet, which is weird.
oh yeah, I went in like knowing most of the premise, but I hadn't seen all of it, so
Mhm.
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I've only watched it once. We should watch it together.
I'd watch it that way.
I have it
That'd
on
be cool.
Blu-ray. I have it
Um,
on Blu-ray.
aside
Come
from yeah, I'd like to. I need some of that old free time. Some of these fucking people
Yeah,
have.
dude, you're busy as fuck.
I'm a fucking busy boy.
I miss you, man.
I miss you too. That's
I'm
why
glad we were
I,
able
that's
to
why I
do this
like do
tonight.
this thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm sorry. So for everybody listening at home, I keep fucking falling asleep early on Jordo, like on like pre like designated nights that we were like, oh, let's do it, and then I pass out.
It's
I'm a terrible friend.
No, it's my fault for having a night job and wrestling training that goes late. Because lately they've been letting us kind of like stay late and work on shit. So like if I get an hour of extra time in the ring, I'm taking it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm like, I want to learn new shit. Yep, cool. I'm gonna hang out.
Before me and Ashley dated, I used to be like I stay up late. I used to stay up late all the time. I was always up till like 1. And like after we've like June 30th will be 3 years since our first date.
Oh wow.
And in these last 3 years, dude, I have become such a I need to go to bed before midnight or else I'm going to have such a shitty day the next day
Oh yeah.
type of person. Like, and I like honestly, it kind of bums me out because I always like my creative juices always got flowing more at night.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like partake in creative. Why did I say it like that? I'm not like
Creative.
writing riffs or like fucking doing art shit as much as I like once was or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, like I feel like so I can be on both sides of it sometimes. Where like I feel more
yeah,
creative when I stay up late, but then in the morning if I wake up like before 9, I feel like I have more of the day ahead of me and I can get more shit done before I have to
true.
like go to work or go start driving.
So like, there's this thing that comes with ADD where like, if you have something to do that day,
Mm-hmm.
your brain is kind of like, oh, I can't do anything before that because I have to commit to being able to do that thing. So like,
Mm-hmm.
I always like want to like wake up super early and like work out or like like whatever, read or whatever. But like
Yeah.
my brain's just like, oh, nah, just sit here and wait until you have to start working.
Yeah. Well,
It's so
yeah.
frustrating, dude. Because like I would love to like just like wake up early or stay up later and do this shit or do that shit, but it's just like my brain's always like, nah, man,
Yeah.
you gotta sit there and contemplate until you start. And you know what has destroyed any productivity is social media.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I've been like days where I want to get shit done before work, or days where I basically the days that I want to just veg out. I don't make this rule, but if there's like shit I need to get done prior to work, I will check my email in the morning. I get 15 minutes on my phone, and then I throw my phone on the charger and I don't touch it again until like I leave.
That's smart. I should start doing that.
Yeah, like there was a point where I was having such an issue with being on my phone all the time that I had to make my background, "You have 20 minutes, asshole." And I would start a timer and I would use my phone for 20 minutes and then I'd shut it off and go do some other thing and fuck off. Cuz you can get lost in that shit. Like it's built
Oh
that
yeah.
way.
And like I don't know if like your phone does this, but recently I've noticed an update where like when I have an app open,
Mhm.
it's like a casino where there's no clock. My phone's not showing my clock anymore.
Oh yeah, no,
So
with
like,
my Galaxy doesn't show me the time unless I scroll down. It's like super annoying. So like I'll lose an hour and be like, "Fuck. I
oh wait,
was
you know
just
what?
on
No.
Reddit."
What the fuck? It's still showing my clock. Okay, so I'm talking out of my ass, I guess. I
Mm.
don't know, but okay, well that's good then. Shows my
Well, okay
clock.
then.
I'm a liar. I'm sorry I lied to you, everybody. All right.
I'm a liar.
Oh, I love that song.
I love that
Perfect
song, too.
segue.
Perfect segue.
Zack Snyder, Army of the Dead. Let me get this out of the way. I think I've talked about it on here before.
He made another movie.
I am a diehard Zack Snyder fan. You know, it's funny.
No one would have known.
It's funny. I'm such a diehard fan of his, and his like most popular movie is 300. I've never seen 300.
That's surprising.
And it's so funny because like that's what he is known for. People like him for that movie, and I've never seen it.
It was good at the time. It is one of those movies now that I don't think I treat that like The Godfather. If you haven't seen it by now, you know enough about it because of fucking memes and shit.
True. I still want to watch it just to appreciate because I like him, you know. So I want to
It's easily been 10 years since I've seen it. I don't remember much of it other than like this is Sparta thing and the boot thing and Xerxes. That's about it.
Yeah. I'm interested in watching it, so I'll probably watch it.
Yeah.
It's funny because he also made Sucker Punch, which I watched and I thought was absolutely fucking terrible.
I know
But-
some people who actually thoroughly enjoyed it because they didn't know anything about the subject material.
I also fell asleep, so I don't remember most of it. And this is it's before I went to college. I saw this movie, so
So you didn't really understand like the full weight of why it's a good film.
yeah. Well, no, I had no analytical skills back then. Remember?
That's right.
So
I
if I watch
feel
it,
like the lack of analytical skills is what make me enjoy movies more that are terrible objectively.
probably Jeremy was trying to talk me. There's
Simpler
another
life.
one. He was trying to talk me into
11
watching
cents.
the stupid. He was trying to talk me into watching the Stupids.
Yes, you should.
I almost didn't tell you, but then he probably would have texted you. But yeah, he's trying to get me to do that. I don't want to fucking do it,
dude.
but um, anyway, back to Army of the Dead. So that shit was so fun. Because like I kind of went into it like this isn't gonna be that good. Like
that is exactly how I went into it.
I like even being like such a fan of his. Like I love Watchmen. I love Zack Snyder's Justice League. You know, I love Batman versus Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I love Man of Steel. I love Dawn of the Dead. His remake of Dawn of the Dead is fucking awesome.
It is. It's probably my favorite movie he's done.
And I'm like going into this, I'm like, this is like, especially with like how good Dawn of the Dead is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of was just going into this like kind of worried that it was not going to live up to that at all. And like, yeah, it's not like a groundbreaking zombie movie, but it's fucking fun, dude.
I wouldn't put it in the same kind of category. Like I went into it not thinking that it was going to be like Dawn of the Dead. I was like, he's making an action movie. That's the way I looked at it. I had 0 expectations going into it, and I came out with 0. So like, I'm not shitting on it. It was 2 hours, and then it was over. It was fun to watch, like have on in the background while I was doing other shit, but it was a fun movie.
Yeah,
there's like a couple things about it that I thought was a little like way too in your face, and that was just like they literally beat you over the head with foreshadowing. Like it wasn't full foreshadowing, it was a full fucking eclipse. Where they were like, I don't think I can trust this guy. What happens in 15 minutes? Oh, you can't trust him. Clearly he did something. Oh, what happens if we go down here? This might be bad. Well, that's bad. Like, it was like every single thing that happened in the movie, they told you was going to happen 15 minutes before it happened.
That's true.
And it just turned into a personal gag for me where I was like, foreshadowing. I just kept saying it throughout the like last hour and a half of the movie, because every time I did, I was like, oh, something's gonna happen. The premise was cool though. Like, yeah, I like how the movie is basically Ocean's 11 with zombies, because that's essentially what it is.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. I can't think of a better way of describing it than that. I'm a fucking mark for the Oceans, like all of those movies. Mm-hmm. All 4 of them.
Yeah.
11, 12, 13, and 8. They're all fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're fun movies. And again, at the end of the day, nothing groundbreaking. It's a movie.
I disagree, actually. The Oceans movies are actually super, like, good. Like, it's not just, like, popcorn movies. Those are, like, actually really good movies.
Objectively.
In my opinion.
Objectively.
Objectively. I think so.
Yeah. No, I don't think they're, like I said, they're not bad. They're just like, all right, I sat through that, and I probably won't watch it again. But
I watch them all the time. I love those movies.
But no, it was fucking like when fucking Scorpion shows up and he's like, all right, everybody, I want you to break into a casino in the middle of a zombie apocalypse because for some reason I still need money. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then they start like showing who everyone is, and it's like so on the nose stereotypical, where it's like the gunner, the safe cracker, and it's like they're getting all these people, and it's like, damn, they literally just went through like a fucking Rolodex of like cliches.
Yeah, but I personally, I thought all the characters were awesome. I thought there was awesome.
Again,
sorry.
Not talking. No, it's fine. They did it, but like they were so open about all the fucking cliches they were doing that it didn't bother me. Where I'm like, this movie, like I love dumb action movies, and that's what this is at the end of the day. It's a dumb action movie, and
I think it's just like super over the top.
Yeah, and if you're gonna do a super over the top movie, you have to do super over the top cliche characters. You're not reinventing the wheel if if you're self-aware about the kind of movie you're making, and like these are the characters that you're gonna have with the over the fucking moon foreshadowing that you have every 15 minutes, perfect. I don't care. But like, I thought the funniest character in the whole movie, and I'm sure it was probably meant to be this way, was the guy who was like the live streamer who like went around killing zombies. Because you know that would fucking be a real thing in a zombie apocalypse.
That would be a thing, yeah.
Yeah, there would totally be a guy going around being like, yo, what's up? I'm Twitch streamer, fucking doodly dada, and I'm going around shooting motherfuckers. And it's like, yes, that would be a thing. There's no way someone would monetize it. No, I just started learning how to use Twitch. There ain't no way I'm gonna be a fucking Twitch streamer zombie killer. I don't got the attitude for that, or the promotional skills.
I think that the heist mixed with the zombie apocalypse was really fun. Like,
yeah. And then the zombie stuff goes another step because they introduce those like alphas that are like smart.
Zombies, yeah.
I'm like, okay, so it's Alien and a zombie movie and a fucking heist movie. So now we're all over the place with like,
yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was all over the place. It wasn't bad that it was all over the place, but boy was it pulling from a lot of different wells.
It really was. The opening credits in the casino as the outbreak is happening.
Yeah,
was unbelievable. Like all the different dancers and like performers in the casino turning into zombies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and, also the music selection was amazing.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's really good at picking music for his movies.
Yeah,
or like putting people in charge of his music in his movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the music in Zack. Like, I know I talk about this movie till I'm blue in the face. The music in Zack Snyder's Justice League is unbelievable. And that's the same guy that did the soundtrack in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Also a good soundtrack.
That is a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
But yeah, I'm a sucker for good song selection when it comes to certain things.
Yeah, dude. I love a good soundtrack. I love a good score. I love a good soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's like even like fucking Watchmen. That fucking movie, the score and the soundtrack are both incredible. And they're two completely different things, because there's the music selection in the movie, and then there's the background score that happens during like the different like interactions in the movie. It's unbelievable.
True.
Also, in our last episode, when we were like pointing at like our like names on the screen, I was wrong, but I don't remember which way we're supposed to point. But like in the video on YouTube, we're both pointing, and it's it's not where the fucking labels are.
You know,
so I watched that shit and I fucking laughed my ass off. I'm like, God, we look like dumbasses.
We will eventually learn how this shit works.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that because I thought it was funny as fuck.
We have till episode 10 to figure it out.
I really fucking... So, this might be a controversial opinion.
Oh, no.
Hot
take of the week.
Maybe?
No.
I had a hot take and I forgot it already. So, I had it like 3 days ago and I was like, I can't wait to record. And then I didn't write it down. So, that's my bad. But... So here's a hot take. I think people compare Batista and The Rock in terms of actors, like in terms of being actors. And I think that this movie has pushed Batista over the edge. I think he's such a better actor than The Rock, because The Rock plays himself in every fucking movie,
which is a believable action star because of his background.
Well, yeah, but
same with Batista.
Like, have you ever seen the show Ballers? It's like about like...
No, I know it's one of his shows, but I've never watched an episode of it.
So it's The Rock's show where he's like, he's a sports financial advisor for like football players or whatever. It's actually a really good show.
So
like, he's literally just being himself in the show. And then, like, every other movie he's in, he's just himself, but, like, amped up to 11.
Yeah.
Like in all the Fast movies or, like, the fucking Jumanji movies or, like, Baywatch. He's just playing himself.
But he himself is entertaining. That's the thing. Like,
well,
he's
I mean,
an
yeah,
entertaining person.
But that's the thing. These people that are making these movies are hiring him because they want him to be The Rock. They're not hiring him because he's like a fucking incredible actor. They're hiring him to be The Rock and to be the entertainer of this generation, because that's what he is. He like
Mm-hmm.
like when he's on screen, you're like lit up. You're like, oh, I love this guy. I want to watch him do whatever.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not like dissing him. I'm not saying I don't want to watch him act in a movie. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying like he's not trying, and Batista's acting his fucking ass off. I believe in Batista's supremacy.
No,
I love Dave Batista.
I love me Batista. And the thing that I will disagree with is all the acting in this movie was so, like,
I completely disagree. Him specifically,
mm-hmm.
he's incredible in this movie.
I guess so.
And
I don't know.
I'm
not saying everything was like robotic.
You also just admitted that you were watching this movie with stuff while you were doing other stuff, so you weren't paying attention to the movie.
I was paying enough attention. It's on.
No, you weren't.
I'm listening to voices,
If
and
you're
I'm watching
talking
stuff on
about- if you're
TV.
saying-
And
if you're saying
I
that
stopped.
acting's bad. If you're saying that acting was bad, then you weren't paying attention, because the acting was not bad.
I didn't say it was bad. I said
You just said it was bad.
No, I said I'm not saying the acting
literally
was
just
bad.
said-
The acting was basically like just very monotone for most of the movie. There doesn't seem to be a lot of emoting. It was mainly a lot of like very like, now I'm mad, now I'm not, now I'm upset, now I'm not, now I'm mad again. That's it. It was just kind of blah. Like, I didn't see it as like this big like fucking event of, you know, Oscar-winning acting, but it was
I'm
like...
not saying that either,
Yeah.
but I'm saying this is a movie that Dave Batista starred in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the first time he's like starring in a movie, I think. Because like Drax is a secondary character.
It may not be his first starring role. He may have starred in something else that may have been awful.
Well, like yeah, probably like a WWE like funded
I'm
fucking
sure.
action movie or some shit.
Oh my god! Which, speaking
But like this is
of,
this is the first time he's getting to work with like a real director
Yeah.
in a real environment, and like, because like if you hear him talk about acting, he's like, I really want to become a good actor.
yeah,
He's like, I never
he
thought
didn't do a bad job. I just
No.
I kind of think you're fluffing his balls a little too much.
I'm not.
But he did a good
didn't
job.
Pay attention, so I'm not going to listen to you.
Hold on. Look,
you literally just said you were like doing other stuff while you were watching it, so you weren't paying attention.
and if something really cool fucking happened, I rewound it and watched what happened.
That doesn't count as watching the
Yes,
movie.
it
Jordan.
does.
No, it doesn't.
People
You're like,
multitask.
You're like secondary paying attention. You're like doing other stuff, and then you're like, oh shit, let me rewind it. That's not investing in it. Like, I take movies very seriously, Jordo. You gotta watch.
I know you take movies really
that's how I
seriously.
am.
You went to college. Sorry, some of us can't afford college, so we don't understand how to enjoy movies at the same level as you.
Oh
You
my God.
privileged fuck.
That's not what I'm saying, you dickhead. I'm just saying.
Look, I can multitask.
I'm trying to make a point here. I'm just saying, like, every time I've seen, and I don't even think you've seen all the movies that Batista's been in. I know I haven't.
I've seen all the Galaxy movies.
I've seen the Guardians movies. I've seen like him in Infinity War and in Endgame.
I watched Evolution turn on him, which was upsetting. I watched him turn on Rey Mysterio Jr., which was upsetting. They were a great tag team. I've watched him do plenty.
Hold on, I'm looking it up. I'm seeing what movies he's in. So he's in Guardians.
Yes.
We knew that. He's in some kid movie called Mr. Spy, which actually looked pretty funny. I don't watch that. Oh, he's in the new Dune movie. That hasn't come out yet, but it looks good. He was in Spectre, that the fucking James Bond movie.
Oh,
and he's only in it for about 15 minutes, but he's like he's one of the bad guys. He's like one of those like classic Bond villains that like doesn't talk but is like imposing and like super bad. Like, and he was great in that. And apparently he was incredible in the Blade Runner sequel. I have not watched that yet. So I need to watch that.
Yeah, no, he was good in that.
But
that movie was actually a lot of fun.
I need to watch that. I haven't seen it. I also Mr. Film here. I've never seen the original Blade Runner, so I need to watch that too.
Okay.
um.
Isn't
Anyway,
that required viewing for you in your college
it
course
is.
of movie critique?
All right. Anyway. Anyway.
Oh, sorry.
So this movie, Army of the Dead, Mr. Spy, and Stuber, which is a movie with him and Kumail Nanjiani.
Stuber? Okay.
Yeah, which looks funny.
Oh, yeah. That's the movie where he's like a fucking cop, and he's like, I'm taking
like
your Uber.
Yeah. He's like
Yeah.
a hyper aggro cop, like aggressive. Like
I
super
actually did
aggressive
watch
cop.
that movie, and that movie was fun.
I've only seen parts of it. I need to watch the whole thing. But
Now, I didn't
those
sit
are-
straight through it.
That's
like-
only 3 movies. That's okay. Shut the fuck up.
I had it on in the background, but I was still enjoying it.
So you haven't watched it. Anyway,
That is still watching a movie!
you're not paying attention to it though, dude.
You can multitask. I have the ability to watch something on TV and do other shit.
And then when we talk about it, I say something, and you're like, "Oh, that happened," and I'm like, "Yes, it happened."
No, this one I'm like I'm on the money with what was happening because I was listening to
Anyway.
it. I don't like your way of watching films.
This is the first time in like a serious movie he's one of the main characters, like
Now-
one of the starring roles.
I would argue
'Cause-
with you that this is not a serious movie.
The tone of the movie is serious.
Tongue in cheek, maybe serious, but
Well, yeah, but
like-
it's
like
like,
the- like the
it's a
tone-
life or death. It's a life or death situation.
yeah. But like
There's
the
severity
movies,
there.
the
He
movie's
had to
kind of
kill
funny,
his
though.
wife. It's funny. It's like a zombie movie. That's
Yeah.
like there's inherent comedy in a zombie movie,
Mhm.
but he had to kill his wife because she turned into a zombie. That's severity right there.
Which is the
And he had to
biggest
act-
foreshadowing of the whole movie.
Yeah. Oh, his daughter's gonna have to kill him.
Ah!
Oh,
Who's
spoiler.
say-
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. No, and that again, the
It's funny you
foreshadowing
said-
thing.
It's funny you said Scorpion because that went right over my head. I didn't even realize that was the guy that played Scorpion.
It was the guy that I'm pretty sure that's the guy that played Scorpion. I don't want to look like an asshole, but I'm pretty sure it's the
No,
same guy.
you're 1000% right. It is the guy.
Okay.
That's why I'm reacting that way. I'm like, oh fuck, that is him.
Yeah. Cause like I had just seen fucking Mortal Kombat like a week before, and then this movie comes out, and I'm like, hey. You came
Yeah,
back
that was
from
fun.
you came back from the dead to want to be the fucking leader of Yakuza. What are you doing?
Oh, that was a movie, dude. Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but no, like
I
this,
really
this-
like. I really liked the German, the lock picker guy. He was funny.
that guy. That guy was the comic relief. Batista not being the comic relief was cool for a change. I will say
Yeah,
that because
that's
he
what-
normally is.
Okay,
But-
you know what? You just put what I was trying to say into a better phrase.
And I did that
He-
without going to college.
All right.
I'm done. Last joke. Because you
Anyway.
brought it up.
I did bring it up, but I just did it. It's like an inside joke. you know?
It is an inside
Um,
joke that me and him have. But for him to degrade my appreciation of a movie and how I intend to view it based
No,
off
you don't
of
pay
a college...
attention to them.
I
You're not
pay
sitting
attention.
down watching the movie. That has nothing to do with going to college and not going to college. You're not
I can look over at the screen and see what's going on. I can listen to the
But-
dialogue, and when I decide,
take-
hey, it's time to pay attention,
You take the media in a different way if you're not sitting and paying attention to it.
incorrect.
I disagree.
In a movie, I can fucking
because
listen
you
to
missed,
it.
bro. You missed shit. Because like there was a whole speech that Luke Skywalker delivers in The Last Jedi that is incredible,
Mhm.
and it is a defining moment of his characterization in the movie,
Mhm.
and you missed it.
Yeah,
So
I guess
when I
so.
talked about when we were talking about it, you were like talking about how his character was this way, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, no, he's not. He's this way because he talks about this.
Mhm.
We literally had that conversation, and you want to know why? It was because you weren't paying attention.
I told you when we watched that shit that I hadn't seen that since I saw it in the theater. So it had been a minute, and my brain just fucking mushed all three of those movies together, and I got parts that I don't fucking remember.
Anyway,
Anyway,
back to the Army of the Dead,
back to Army of the Dread.
which is not the best Zack Snyder movie. I'm not. I'm like going to bat for it. I'm not like.
Yeah,
I'm not, like,
it's
that
no
interested
sucker
in it.
punch.
No. I need to watch that again because like I said, I fell asleep during it, so I don't have a accurate
Mhm.
recollection of the movie. So I need to watch it again.
I have a very
Um.
accurate recollection of this movie. I don't know why, like, you're shitting
Anyway,
on my way of watching movies. Like,
because it drives me crazy. Because like if I'm like that's why I rewatch movies because like that if I'm rewatching something, I can have that on in the background and I won't pay attention to it. But if I'm watching a movie for the first time, my phone is down. I'm paying attention to it because
Oh.
I want to drink that shit in.
weird. Nah, I'll play on my phone and watch a movie. I also read comics while I'm watching a movie. I was not reading comics while I was watching this movie. I was cleaning while I was watching this
I
movie.
read comics. I read comics while I rewatch shit. Like if
Mhm.
I've got like a show that I've seen like 1,000 times, like The Office, or Insecure on HBO. That's a great show, by the way.
Mhm.
I'll talk about that in a minute. If I got one of those on and I'm like I got a comic book in front of me, I can read that and like, like I'll like look up and be like joke. But
I think it also depends on the movie too. That will make me want to like totally
True.
invest. Like if I'm hate watching something, I won't fucking I won't pick my phone up. Like hate watching is what will literally make me just like hyper focus on a movie. Like I watched a movie the other day that I fucking hated, and I don't know why I sat through the whole fucking thing, but I did.
what movie?
A Dog's Way Home. Yeah, it was fucking awful. I think it's made by the same people that made A Dog's Purpose. It's just another one of those like I don't know who the fuck makes what audience these movies are made for, but like why do I want to watch a movie about a dog having a fucking bad time? Like I don't know.
Like
yeah.
In A Dog's Purpose, they like were like there was like animal abuse on the
I
set
know. Yes.
when they would film that shit.
I know. That's why I've never sat through that fucking movie. But came home from work. Fear of the Walking Dead was on when I showed up because Beth had fallen asleep with the TV on. And then I sat down, started dicking off on my phone because I was like, well, I don't watch this show, but whatever. I'll listen to it while I'm decompressing.
Right.
And then I keep hearing a dog whine. Now, mind you, I have dogs. So I'm thinking, oh, well, that's weird. They're all here. No one's whining. So I look up, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck's going on in this movie? So some dog's in the back of a fucking Winnebago getting fucking taken away from some people, and I'm confused, because I didn't watch the opening. So I'm like, alright, well, let me go to fucking Google and find out what the fuck this movie's about. And, based off the opening premise, I was like, well, I'm 15 minutes in. Fuck it, I'm gonna watch it. And it was terrible, and I fucking hated it.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. I wouldn't have watched that shit.
Yeah, no, but like nothing.
That shit off.
It was on TV, and there was nothing else on, and I needed to do cardio, so I was like, I need something to fucking take my fucking mind off of doing this for 45 minutes. So,
you ride a bike or you run?
I'm riding a bike for 45 minutes. Now that I have access to a gym, I'm doing big boy sessions of HIIT cardio by doing sled pushes, tire flips,
Nice.
and then I'm doing like 20 minutes of being on a Stairmaster.
I love tire flips.
Me too. What I've been doing now is like tire flip, burpee, tire flip, burpee, tire flip, burpee, and I do that for 30 seconds with a 30-second rest and do 10 rounds of that.
Fuck that. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
So
But Dog's Purpose, fucking gesundheit.
Sorry.
I will give...
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Every time.
I'll give you the short, abridged version.
Wait, I'm not done talking about Army of the Dead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't watch it, so I have nothing else to say about it.
I just wanted to say this. I really liked that they wrote that fucking creep Chris D'Elia out of the movie.
Yeah.
And they replaced him with the comedian Tig Notaro.
Mm-hmm.
And she, I think, was the best character in the whole movie.
I would know. I didn't watch the movie.
You know, the cigar chomping helicopter pilot.
I know. She was the one who was doing like one of the like. she was the first foreshadowing moment for me that bothered me when she like looked at the random ass dude who was with them, who was there with them from the fucking what was it, the scorpion dude, and she just goes like, I don't trust this guy. And at first I was like, wait a minute, is she doing that to like gain favor, or is she the one that's gonna turn on him? Because that'd be some hot bullshit if they like did that, because you know that's what you expect with a movie that wants to like surprise the audience. But then the guy actually did it, and I was like, oh, like she literally told the audience that was gonna happen.
Yeah, I like that she was like, is there a hierarchy? Like she was like, is there a hierarchy?
Yeah, if there's a hierarchy,
like, who's important and who should? She was like, because none of you can fly a helicopter, so I feel like I'm way more important than like that guy.
Which like knowing that was supposed to be Chris D'Elia or Delulia, whatever the fuck his name is, that sounds like some bullshit he would say.
Yeah,
like that seems like it was written for him.
It was so much funnier coming from Tig Notaro.
Oh yeah, no, like
her being like, I feel like I'm way more important than this guy.
And her like having like that fucking conniption fit trying to get that helicopter off the ground towards the end of the movie just cracked me up. No, there were parts of the fucking movie that were really funny. There were parts that annoyed me just because of the foreshadowing, but then it was like funny like once it got around to the foreshadowing bit.
Like when that guy like moved the flares and screwed that girl over from following everybody.
Yeah.
That pissed me because she was hard as fuck, dude. She rocked.
Yep.
I don't remember her name, but her character was awesome, and I did not because like when she like comes out through that window and she hadn't been bitten yet, I was like, oh my god, she might get out of this. This is awesome.
And she still could have. She just decided not to.
Yeah,
like she could have just sprinted at that point. I'm like, why don't you just fucking run away? And then she's just funny. Like, because she's standing there and she's like, they're almost gonna get me. I better stand here and let them.
Yeah, like
I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
She's a hard motherfucker. She wouldn't do that shit. She'd fucking run.
That I thought was really fucking dumb, and I clearly only know that because I watched the movie. But
I'm sorry I'm being so critical of you.
You just shit on the way I watch movies.
I just think that you missed a lot of Batista's like. He's acting his ass off in this movie.
I didn't say he did a bad job. It's like the way you're like, dude.
You said the acting was bad in the movie.
I said it was blah, not bad.
You said it was bad.
I said blah, not bad.
Well, blah is bad, motherfucker. Like,
well, it's just like it's standard.
So what are you trying to say with blah? Are you trying to say it's good? No, you're trying to say that it's bad.
No, it's just middle grade. It's
Semantics,
a 5 out of 10. The acting is like, it's acting for a passable movie, which is what this is. This is a passable, fun 2 hours.
But I'm just trying to say, my man, Batista's finally got a leading role where he's the main character.
Yeah, and I'm stoked for him. Anytime someone from wrestling gets to do something this fucking cool, I'm always about it.
And my original point was to say that he's a better actor than The Rock, which he is.
I don't think so.
The Rock hasn't been in a serious movie since that garbage Hercules remake.
He acts his ass off when he has to work with Kevin Hart.
I hate Kevin Hart. Dude is a piece of shit, and he was like really homophobic in the past, and has like gone on record to say, I've already apologized for that. But there is no record of him apologizing. Yeah. So it's like, where's the apology, Kevin? Like, you can keep fucking brushing it off and being a fucking dickhead about it, but you literally never apologize. So if you want to be a homophobic piece of shit, just fucking own it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, stop trying to be like you're a different person or you're like a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
When, like, this is like...
I think that's why the Rock is kind of, like, taking his mantle of, like, this generation's entertainer. Because, like... Kevin Hart was, like, in everything for a while. And, like, doing every fucking thing. Now it's The Rock doing it all.
True. He's playing Black Adam in the DC universe, which I think is dumb. Because what they're going to do... Yes,
he looks perfect for the role.
Dude, looks aren't everything, baby. Black Adam is a bad guy. Mm-hmm. You don't want to watch The Rock play a bad guy?
I do, because I loved The Rock when he was a villain in wrestling.
Well, no, but I'm saying I'm saying, like, the masses are going to be like, oh, well, Black Adam's obviously going to be a good guy eventually. And yeah, there are some comic stories where he actually is an anti-hero and becomes a good guy, but they're going to start off with that. He's a villain. He starts out as a bad guy, then he redeems himself. But he's the Rock. He's the Rock. So they're going to make that happen. They're going to make that happen sooner than it needs to because he's the Rock.
No.
And also,
they'll let the Rock play a villain. They will totally let the Rock play a villain.
No, they fucking won't.
Yeah, they will.
No, they fucking won't, dude. He's the poster boy for like entertainment of like the generation. There's no fucking way they're gonna let him be a villain. For more than one fucking movie.
Nah, they're gonna let him be the fucking bad guy.
No, they're not. They're gonna fuck it up just like they fuck everything else up, like screwing Zack Snyder over. That's why Zack Snyder went to Netflix. Anyway. Ugh, I'm so mad now. God damn it.
How do you think I feel being told I'm not watching movies?
I'm sorry. That was just me lashing out.
No, it's cool.
I spent most of my day in traffic, so I'm not in a really great. I'm in a really bad mood.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I went to Baltimore to go to Celebrated Summer, and I was trying to go to joint custody in D.C. after that, but it was Pride today, so the traffic was.
Oh yeah, you're dumb. Why would you even bother?
Traffic was a fucking nightmare. So.
Yeah, no, that's stupid. I wouldn't have done anything.
Anyway, no, but like, also, Black Adam doesn't need a movie. I don't think because like, as a villain, he's not a big enough character to merit a movie. Like Joker, like I hated the movie Joker, but that's a big enough character that merits his own movie.
For anyone listening to the audio version, I'm raising my hand because I got a point I'm going to bring up that will.
All right, go ahead. Like I take your opinions with DC with a grain of salt because you're like, I really like Batman.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You're shitting on the Black Adam movie because you don't like The Rock being in the movie. And you're saying and you're hold on, and you just said that like The Rock, like they don't need to do a Black Adam movie and he doesn't need his own movie because he's not that important of a character. So why are you so stoked on the Shang-Chi movie that is so fucking like out of left field and no one knows who the fuck he is?
Because it looks good.
This movie could look good. You haven't seen anything from this movie and you're already pissed off about it.
I've seen enough fucking teaser posters that they keep releasing every 6 fucking months. Anyway, Shang-Chi is also is the first Asian American or the first Asian superhero movie that they're making. So that's why it's a big fucking deal, you ignorant piece of shit.
No, that is cool. That is fine. I'm talking about the character.
That's one of the reasons that's
why comic book character.
Well, I told you last time we recorded an episode, I read a Shang-Chi comic and he was cool.
Okay.
So I did some research on the character and he's cool.
All I'm pointing out is you said Black Adam is not as important of a character to garner his own movie.
He doesn't warrant his own movie. Shang-Chi does. If you're watching a superhero movie, you're watching to watch a superhero. Black Adam fights Shazam. They are supposed to be enemies. They are supposed to fight.
Yeah.
So Black Adam should be in a Shazam movie. He shouldn't get his own fucking movie. He's a villain. Why is he getting his own fucking movie?
Because Warner Brothers wants an individual movie for every single character that ever gets introduced into their movie franchises.
No, they don't. Because they made their theatrical cut of Justice League without giving The Flash his own movie, without giving Aquaman his own movie, without giving Cyborg his own movie. It came out before all of those. The Flash's movie just went into production, and they released Aquaman after Justice League. So they don't give a fuck about giving everybody an individual movie.
They did give them a movie. It just came late.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
I mean, I'm not saying it's done in chronological order. But I'm just saying that they eventually do.
But the characters in Suicide Squad aren't getting their own movies. Give
them a decade. Give them a decade.
Oh God, I hate Warner Brothers so much. They make some great fucking movies, but they are doing no justice to Warner Brothers. They're not. They are Warner Brothers. They're doing no justice to the DC Comics pipeline. It's such a pain in the ass being being such a DC fan myself, it's such a pain in the ass, man. Like,
This is what leads into my actual hot take of the week that I have that I will save for later.
Right. Yeah, you want to go now? Fuck it.
Fine, I'll do it now. I know people are really, because I got in this argument earlier today, and I am going to stick by this argument as like pro-capitalist as it is, and I hate that. I hate it.
Whoa.
I am totally okay with fucking Disney just buying everything and just fucking making movies and making content. And here's why. Because everyone who keeps making shit poorly will not be able to make it poorly anymore. They'll just it'll be under the Disney moniker. Fucking keep buying studios. Buy fucking Warner Brothers, buy whoever at this point.
Yeah, and then you're going to get even more fucking US government propaganda bullshit. You're going to get even more ham-fisted race relation bullshit, race analysis. You're going to get all this bullshit fucking surface level garbage media.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get like in-depth anything, dude. Warner Brothers
you're not really getting that with Warner Brothers like movies either.
Yeah, you are. Like their other movies, not their superhero movies.
Oh, I'm just talking about their superhero shit. I don't give a fuck about that other stuff.
Look, dude. They just need I talk about this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to hire like an individual to oversee everything, make it all cohesive, and like the first 3 DC movies that came out in their current movie universe were dark, and people fucked with that.
I think
keep making them dark, but Warner Brothers wanted to chase that fucking Guardians of the Galaxy money, and they were just like, oh, let's be brighter, let's be funner, let's be
actually, because that's more fun. the DC movies are so, like, no, here's the thing, look, that shit is just so dreary and fucking depressing sometimes.
Yeah, and when
you're
like,
why the fuck do I want to watch all that?
When you're a DC comic fan, you like it because it's true to the fucking comics, bro. The comics are dark.
Yeah, the comics are dark. That's why I don't read them all the time. It's fucking sad.
They rock. I fucking love DC.
That's fine.
Because
I love the depth of their stories. I love how dark and sad and fucking like thought-provoking they can be. But fuck, I don't want that all the time. I want other shit. Like fucking.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like,
entertain me.
Superman is like Man of Steel is super dreary and like a darker take on Superman.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. And then like you get Dawn of Justice, the Batman versus Superman movie. The darkness is continuing, but like you kind of see like a glimmer of hope. And at the end of that movie, Superman dies.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zack Snyder's Justice League, the hope's back, and it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ending scene with Superman is like that's like a fucking bona fide Superman scene. It's like Zack gave it back to you. Like, you know, he heard everybody like complain about the darkness. He's like, no. It's coming back. So here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. There you go. There's hope in that movie. There's heart in that movie. There's fun in that movie. It's not all dreary. There's a lot of dreary because, I mean, it's stylistically, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. But there's still like the happiness. There's still the hope. There's still the fun. And like, do you really want the monotonous, like, because like Rise of Skywalker felt like a Marvel movie with like how the lines were written and shit.
Yep.
And that fucking sucked, dude. I wanted a Star Wars movie. I didn't want that shit.
I guess like, and that's a matter of taste thing because I enjoyed it, and it didn't bother me that it was like that. But I understand why.
You really want all of your fucking content you're consuming to have that vibe. You don't want there to be any.
When it comes to like things in like nerdy culture. Like, that's the main thing. Like, I want them to be in control of just stupid comic book shit or sci-fi shit that is, like, all under the same umbrella. Because, like, they got the fucking budget to do whatever the fuck they want so they can make these things look fucking great.
But they don't need to have everything then because they already have enough. They got Star Wars and they got Marvel. They got enough.
Give them DC.
No. Dude. I would cry myself to sleep if that fucking deal went through.
That is not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. It is
that big of a deal.
I want them to have that. I want them to buy WWE so they can make that make fucking sense. because it's pissing
Dude,
me off
that's
so
just,
goddamn
that's
much.
this is like certified your worst opinion you've ever had.
This is
Aside
my
from being
hot.
like, aside from being like, oh, I don't like DC unless it's Batman. That's your second worst opinion.
Look, that thing about Batman being the only thing I like in DC is like a very exaggerated, simplified.
You did say that.
I
You
did,
literally
but it's
said-
it's an
you were like,
exaggerated.
I don't give a shit about DC unless it's Batman.
Yeah, it's kind of
And
true,
do you know
but
what
I
that-
do
you
check other
know what
stuff.
do you know what that did to me? Because I'm such a DC head. Like,
All of
that
Batman's
hurt
stuff
me.
is the most interesting. That's all I'm saying.
That's not true.
Batman stuff is interesting. The Watchmen, Doomsday Clock, those are really good.
Doomsday Clock sucked. I don't know what you're talking about.
I had fun with Doomsday Clock. I'm sorry.
I hated Doomsday. Dude, like let's get into Doomsday Clock. Fuck it. Timeout. Army of the Dead. Super fun. It's not like a fucking perfect movie, but like, what the fuck do you want? It's a zombie heist. It's a heist in Vegas that there's zombies. And they made it make sense that the zombies were contained to Las Vegas. That was sick.
Yeah.
So,
No, and like I said, it's not a bad movie. It is, at the end of the day, a movie.
yeah, it's fun.
It's fun. Yeah, it was fun.
This is exactly how I felt after Godzilla vs. Kong, after fucking Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
It's a movie. It's fun. What do you want?
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's
What do you want? You want Macbeth, brother? You don't want Macbeth.
No, I don't. Not.
You don't want Macbeth.
Not with
You
my
wanna have-
fucking attention span. I don't want fucking Macbeth.
You want your fucking hair to stick up on your arm. You want like tension to build.
No.
You want to watch. You want to watch some cool shit. Army of the Dead, baby.
No,
That shit was fun as hell.
It was fun, and I liked their fucking new thing they added about zombies, like their lore that zombies are attracted to heat, not to brains, which
that
was kind of cool.
He microwaved that shit and threw it. That
Yeah,
cool
I
as
was
fuck.
like, oh, that's different. I fuck with that.
It kind of makes sense, Like,
Yeah. I did think
So-
that like them adding in the little like love interest with like Batista and that other girl, where she was like, well, I loved you at one point, and he's like, oh, I wish I had known. And it's like, oh, okay, why is this here? This is so awkwardly placed.
Honestly, that was the one part of the movie that I didn't like. I thought that was stupid. I thought they just kept them as friends. That would have been nice, But
yeah, because his acting,
whatever, man.
His acting in that part was just fucking stellar.
I thought he was fine. The part where his daughter has to kill him, I think he nailed. He was great in that part. And the part where he had to kill his wife, beautiful.
Yeah, both
Army-
also emotions that he has had to probably do in pro wrestling also.
Yeah. So Army of the Dead was great. It's fun.
It was a 5 out of 10. It was a good movie.
I'd say it was a 7 out of 10 because I had so much fun watching that fucking movie.
I mean, I had fun watching it, but I would put it on the 5. The only reason I put it on the 5 is because I'm like, I sat through it, I enjoyed it, but I would probably never watch it again.
I just pulled it up now when we started talking about it, so that, like, to remember shit.
Oh,
it had been a minute, but I want to watch it again, and thankfully it's not HBO Max, so it's not disappearing after a certain amount of time. So that's cool.
Yeah, that irritates the shit out of me, because I missed seeing Judas and the Black Messiah. Because I just fucking forgot about it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, now it's off there, and I can't watch it."
That was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
That's what I heard.
We were supposed to talk about it, and then it never happened.
I'm a busy bee.
Anyway, just a side note on Doomsday Clock. The first 6 issues were spectacular, and then it kind of fell off, in my opinion.
Well,
I think
there was like a year delay on like the rest of it.
Well, yeah, because so what they were doing. Sorry, I moved away from the microphone. Mm-hmm. What they were doing originally was doing it once a month, and then DC was like, "Oh, we should." See, DC Comics pisses me off because like they don't know what they're doing. Like as a comic book publisher, so like they'll have like an idea for like a thing, and then they'll fucking play it out like too much, and then everybody gets tired of it. Then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna scrap everything and start over."
Yeah,
they do that all the time.
That's why Disney should buy it.
Shut the fuck up!
Only for nerdy shit. That's my bad hot take. That's my bad hot take.
We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to that because I'm mad as hell.
Oh no, you shouldn't be. Like it's. Trust me, it'll be for the good of all the nerdy shit we like.
It would not, dude. Yeah. One studio making everything.
It's a parent
That
company.
that's so monotonous. One parent company making everything. That's so monotonous. That's good. That's the destruction of art. Fuck that shit. Anyway,
I
Doomsday Clock.
I mean, if you want to call all those movies art, fine. But I don't.
Well, is film not art? Film is art.
Army of the Dead is not a film. That is a movie.
Are we talking about Army of the Dead right now? No, we're not.
No,
We're talking about.
but I'm just
we're
saying
talking
in general. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're mad.
I'm
You're
talking
mad.
about. I am. I'm fucking mad as shit.
Why are you so
Anyway.
mad?
I had a bad day.
I'm sorry you had a bad day. Like, I had nothing to do with
Hey,
it. Except for the
no,
part
you
now where
didn't.
I'm making you mad about the fact that I think Disney should just start buying up fucking IPs and doing shit with them.
They've already done that enough, dude. They got like I said, they got Star Wars. They got fucking Marvel. Ugh.
They should buy Lego next.
Do they not already have that?
I don't know.
I feel like they do.
I don't know. Them,
tired.
what was it? Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Them getting Fox was like a big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they got the Fantastic Four back and X-Men back.
Yeah. So they got, They got Fox. They got NBC? NBC
No.
Universal? No?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. They got ESPN.
Not. They did. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So Doomsday Clock.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing it once a month, and then after the third issue, they started doing it once every other month,
Mm-hmm.
and then they were doing it like once every 6 months. So not only did they completely destroy the momentum of the series, but like the story kind of became like meh. Now, I've only read it the one time, and you know me, like when it comes to movies, when it comes to like any type of media consumption, if I've only done it once, I haven't done it.
Yeah. Well, with that kind of
So-
stuff, like if I'll rewatch something or reread something if like the ending didn't make sense to me, or if I walked away from it going, I don't know how I feel about that, like I did at the end of the Legend of Don Quixote movie.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I liked that ending, and then I sat with it for 5 minutes and was like, yeah, it was okay.
So like Doomsday Clock kind of just like lacked luster for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I also I beef Jeff Johns.
Okay.
I don't like him. He's like
I don't know who he is.
he's the guy that wrote Doomsday Clock.
Oh, I never read who writes the fucking stories.
He
for
wrote
these
he
things.
wrote Doomsday Clock. He's like
unless I really fucking liked the series, I never check out who the fuck the writer is. If I see Chris Claremont is on something, I'll always check it out. Same thing with Tom King and
Tom
fucking
King rocked. I love Tom King.
yeah, and what's the other guy? Fucking
Tinian? James Tinian?
no, Frank Miller or Garth Ennis. I'll always check stuff out that they write.
I like Grant Morrison and
Grant
Alan
Morrison's
Moore.
good too. Yeah, and Alan Moore. Both good.
Alan Moore, I mean, fucking Watchmen. Come on.
Yeah.
And Alan Moore did V for Vendetta too.
Yeah, and I loved his movie Bowling for Columbine. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You haven't done one of that yet. So.
No, I haven't. I haven't had one bad joke all night.
Except for saying that Disney should buy DC. That's a pretty.
It
bad
would.
joke.
It would make. I guarantee you, it would make you happier than you think.
No, fucking wouldn't. I'd be miserable. Are you kidding me?
No, I think that
Dude.
you would be like, wait a minute, I got a 4-hour movie the first time around instead of having to wait 5 years for it. Good, lucky me.
Yeah, right. Disney would let him put out a 4-hour fucking movie. No, they would not,
Dude.
And there would be a lack of severity, dude, in it. With it, like a perfect example, because like when I first saw it, I was riding high. I loved the movie because I laughed so much. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how much I like Thor Ragnarok.
I remember you were
Because
mad
it's like-
about like the stuff in the trailer that ended up being actually in the movie.
Well, yeah, no. Like the Hulk reveal pisses me off because it's like the whole movie, the first hour of the movie treats it like the Hulk reveal's a surprise,
Yeah.
but we saw him in the trailer, so why are you treating it like a surprise? That's so stupid.
Well, because we don't know how he's in the movie.
Bro, come on. We know how.
The funniest
He's gonna
Marvel
f-
movie to date still is both of the Ant-Man movies. Those are the two best.
And they're
For
they're
comedy.
They are also the most rewatchable. I fucking love both of those movies so much.
Yeah, I fucking love Paul Rudd. So
Me too,
much.
dude.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd rocks. I love Paul Rudd.
Yep.
he's just like he is by definition America's sweetheart.
Yeah. And
Everybody loves him.
if you put Clueless on and then immediately watched Ant-Man, man hasn't aged a bit.
No, not at all. I got a hot take about Clueless. Give me 1 second.
You had a hot take about Clueless.
Oh, okay. So I've seen Clueless twice.
Mm-hmm.
I have hated it both times I've watched it. It's like that's like the one '90s movie that's like super popular and like a cult classic or whatever that I've watched it twice and I'm like, dude, this movie fucking sucks. Like,
I never hear anyone bring that movie up in a way where it's like this is a quintessential 90s movie that people need to watch. I always
Really?
feel no, like I don't hear people talk about Clueless the way you're talking about. For those kind of movies, I hear people talk more about like oh fuck, what is that one? Like The Craft and like fucking what's the other fucking one? There's the Jawbreaker. I hear people talk about those movies a lot cuz those are like weird 90s movies. But like Clueless, no, not really.
Clueless, I nonstop I hear about it all the time.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. Clueless, fucking 10 Things I Hate About You.
10 Things I Hate About You is one of the big ones.
I love that one. That's a great one.
Like I think if you sat down and were like the 10 quintessential 90s movies, I think I have my own vision of what that is.
Yeah, but I like because you're not familiar with people saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people that I know would put Clueless in there, and I'm like, I've watched it twice. I've given it the time. I'm like, I need to give this movie its due because like it's such a like culturally like it's like really important to like a lot of people, especially for like fashion and like iconic lines or whatever. But I'm like this movie. I hate this movie.
Yeah, see, because like
I watched it twice, and I'm like, dude, I hate this fucking movie.
Weird, yeah, because like for me, like 5 off the top of my head that I think are like culturally like more of a representation of the time, I guess, would be like Train Spotting, fucking what was the other one? I just had it. Wow, I literally just had it, and now I fucking broke. No, I mean like well, not Jawbreaker in the sense of like thinking of like the 90s. Oh, Go. That was the other one I was thinking of. So like yeah, Go, fucking man, I'm having a hard time here. Sorry. I got like hit with like a fucking major brain fart. Blows to the head. Fucking CCE some shit. Fucking yeah, I would put that in there. Independence Day, for sure, because that's like one of the biggest 90s movies probably. As whack as it is, Titanic, because it was one of the highest grossing movies. But I don't know, if I had to like literally sit down.
T2 was a 90s movie too.
T2 was also a pretty big 90s movie. Speed was also a huge movie in the 90s.
Dude,
yeah,
Speed was the shit, man.
Yeah, like speaking of Speed, I was in an argument earlier today about how unnecessary prequels keep getting made of things because Vern was over and he was complaining about how Cruella de Vil, like that movie that came out, and like
that movie looks so stupid.
Oh yeah, it looks stupid, but I'm like, yo, you're not like even slight like there's an audience out there, which I hate using that term because there's an audience for fucking everything. It doesn't necessarily equate to being good. But there are people out there who are like, oh, there's an origin story about Cruella de Vil. There's no other movies out. Fuck yeah, I'll go see it. And then he was like, oh, would you really want to watch a movie where like there's a prequel to Speed and you get to see why Dennis Hopper became the way he did? And I was like, actually, 100% yes. I would watch that movie in a fucking second. like
Low key, yeah.
Yeah,
dude,
there's some movies where like you do care.
Dude.
Speed is so good.
Speed is so good, dude. It's on HBO Max, and I watched it like a month ago, and I had a time, man.
Dude,
I had such a time watching that fucking movie.
I watched that movie every single time it came on TV for like the Fox like fucking Friday night or Sunday night movie. Anytime it came on TV, I'd fucking watch it. I loved that movie.
So that Cruella movie, the trailer that they put out for it, it looked like Joker, but for like a girl boss. And like
Maybe.
That
I
does
don't know.
not interest me
I
in
don't
the
know
slightest.
anything about it. That's the thing. I haven't watched a single trailer. I didn't even know it was happening.
It just looked like it literally looked like female Joker, and I hate you know me, I hated that Joker movie.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Yeah, no, that Joker
I don't
movie
know,
can get bent.
straight up, fuck that movie. Anyway, but yeah,
Yeah.
and like the it's like the premiere access. You have to pay $30 to watch
Oh
it,
yeah. What a
and
movie to test that
I'm
out
like,
on.
well, they did that with Raya and the Last Dragon,
Mm-hmm.
which the paywall has gone for that one too. So you can watch that without paying the extra money. And I
Okay.
actually wanted to see that. So that's like the most recent Pixar movie, I think.
Hmm.
Um, and they did it with the live action Mulan movie. The
Oh,
premiere
weird.
access, you pay the $30, you get to watch the movie. They're doing it with Black Widow, and I'm sorry to say that I think I'm gonna pay the $30 to watch it. Although
Why? Just wait.
since I or I no, dude, I've waited a year and change for that fucking movie. I'm not waiting any longer. But I was about to say I actually might go see it in theaters since you know I'm going to theaters
Mm-hmm.
and they're showing it in theaters. So I might go see that.
Oh, wow. Sorry. I decided to Google top 90s movies to see,
Hmm.
and there's a lot more than I think could go on a top 10 list. Cuz like just the Oscar-winning ones that like cuz there's a
Hmm.
sub list for that. Like the
Yeah.
first 5 are like, "Oh yeah, no shit." It's like Good Will Hunting, Forrest Gump, Unforgiven, American Beauty, Silence of the Lambs. Like, oh, and fucking Pulp Fiction. Yeah, there's Fargo, Saving Private Ryan. Like all these are like big fucking deals.
Oh yeah. But like when I was saying quintessential '90s movie about Clueless, I
Mm-hmm.
meant like
For like the times, or like just kind of
I
like
meant I meant for the times and like as like a romantic comedy, I guess.
okay, because like hold on, let's see.
But anyway, back to Thor Ragnarok because
Oh,
I
it is
interrupted
up there. That's true.
I interrupted myself because I was talking about Clueless because we talked about Ant-Man. Thor
Yeah.
Ragnarok. Every serious thing that happens
Mm-hmm.
is cut almost immediately with a joke
Oh yeah,
to the point where there's no severity in the whole movie.
that's what
So
Love
it's
and
like,
Thunder is gonna probably be like. It's probably gonna be the same thing.
which opening night I'll love it, and then I'll probably criticize it later.
Hmm.
But because I saw Thor Ragnarok 3 times in theaters because I liked it so much.
Yeah.
But
No.
it's
Ah.
because
Ah. Sorry. I
how
didn't.
rude of you.
It was an ad. I was trying to get it to close. Fucking.
So I watched it so many times because I thought it was so much fun. But
Mm-hmm.
then like you sit back and you take a look at the big picture, and it's like I said, every single serious thing that happens, a joke follows it,
See,
and it's like
if you want to pick apart everything you enjoy, this will happen. Like, if you
that's the
don't,
kind of person I am, dude.
if you don't if you don't pick it apart and you're like, yo, at face value, I had a lot of fun with that, and then you move on to the next thing, this won't happen. You're doing it to yourself.
I can't do that though. That's the thing. I have to pick every single thing apart because I don't know what to do with myself if I don't.
Watch something new, like The Stupids. You should watch that movie.
I will not watch. Yeah, imagine me watch the stupids. I'll pick it apart minute by minute.
God damn it, I would love to sit here and go blow for blow with you about The Stupids for an episode.
Jerem was saying that we should do like a live stream of us
Yes, we
watching it.
should. Fuck yeah, we should. Oh, I should put it on Twitch. Oh
All
my
right.
god, man, I would
All right.
love to do that.
Okay, fine. I'll think about doing that. I'm not gonna say yes
Oh.
just yet.
Oh, we should do a watch along. We should do an in-person watch along of it, film it, and just talk
That's-
shit the whole time.
That's what I would do. That's what I would be down to do. So we'll talk about it. But
Fuck.
that might
what
be in
a
the cards.
what a fucking afternoon we'll have. You're gonna fucking
But,
love this movie.
Ugh, I bet not.
There's so many bad over-the-top family movies that came out in the 90s that are worth a one-time watch.
You know what? There's some in the 2000s too. Because have you ever seen the movie Wild Hogs?
Oh, that one with like Tim Allen and like Chris
Tim,
Rock, I think.
it's no. It's
No,
Tim Allen, Martin Lawrence,
Martin Lawrence. Sorry.
William H Macy, and
Yes.
John Travolta.
Yeah. They're all like bikers, like for the week. They're like all weekend
Yeah,
warriors who are like, we're all gonna go
dude,
on a
that
guy trip, and I'm like, oh god.
that movie is so fucking funny.
It's yeah. There's so many of
And
those
and
random ass
and
family movies like that.
and Ray Liotta's in that movie too.
Yeah.
Like, and he plays the bad guy, and it's so fucking funny.
I swear that was one of those like movie studio requirement movies where it's like, yo, you owe us one, be in this movie. Because there's no reason that any of those actors should be in that movie. Maybe
No.
Tim Allen?
John Travolta, he's hurting, so maybe him too.
Maybe, I don't know. But what a fucking goofball fucking
Dude,
movie. When I worked at a
it's
Hollywood
so
Video,
funny.
I rented that, and I was like, what the fuck is this
It's
bullshit?
so funny, dude.
It's weird because
Dude,
I used to watch a shitload of movies when I got them all for free. Now that they're all at the tip of my finger, I don't want to watch any of them because it makes me have to commit to something. That's why I've been loving the fucking play something for me button on Netflix. Like, I wish every fucking thing had that. Because the anxiety of picking a movie to watch is, like, stressful. So I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I know that's, like, really dumb at its core. But, like, my brain overthinks stuff. And I'm like, well, I could watch
I
this
get
movie,
that
or I
too.
could watch this movie, or I could watch this one. And I just don't. Gesundheit. Gesund twice.
Sorry. Oh god.
You got another one?
Nope, I'm good.
Because I could hit you with gesund thrice if you have a third one.
Oh no.
And then if you sneeze 4 times, I get to
All
say
right.
quad bless you.
Here's a hell of a time to ask, but we're recording, right?
Yeah.
We didn't just start talking for an hour and a half and miss everything.
No,
we
we've
talked
we've
about.
we've been recording. You're totally gonna You're gonna have all the army of the dead chastising
Awesome.
going on.
Awesome. All right, cool. So aside from Army of the Dead, what else have you watched lately?
Well, I watched that stupid ass dog movie. I've watched a lot of Roddy Piper stuff over the last 2 weeks. Wrestling matches and movies.
Awesome, dude.
But yeah, because I watched They Live on a fucking whim. I was watching Hell Comes to Frogtown. And then I was watching a bunch of his matches against like Greg the Hammer Valentine and why am I blanking on his name? Jimmy Snuka's nephew, Tonga Kid. And like his matches with Paul Orndorff, stuff like that. Just to get like kind of getting some ideas for stuff. I love I love watching him wrestle, and I love his intensity about everything. So that's what I've been watching. Oh yeah, I was supposed to tell you the plot of that Dog's Way Home movie, which is god awful. I don't have to. It's just a bridged version. This will make you mad because you own a pit bull. Which again, this movie is just to make you upset. That's what I deduced by the end of it. But the short version is a guy finds a abandoned building with kittens and a puppy in it. He ends up going back to feed the kittens and the puppy on a regular basis. Gets to the point where he's like, you know what? I want to adopt this dog and take it home. Not the kittens. Fuck them. I'm just adopting the dog. But he'll keep going back to feed the cats. There's a dude who is a animal control guy who is pissed at this guy for going and doing that. So he says that he is going to take his dog from him because it's a pit bull and it is within the city limits of Denver, Colorado. This dog is not a pit bull. Doesn't look anything like a fucking pit bull. But this guy is like, well, pit bulls are illegal, so I'm going to have to take your dog from you because I just have this personal vendetta from you, which makes me mad because that shit happens to people all the fucking time, and it's not okay. So the guy ends up going like, well, my dog got out once, got caught by the guy, had to pay a fine. Says if the dog gets caught again, they have to euthanize it. So I'm going to send him to live with my uncle in New Mexico while me and my girlfriend find a new place to live outside the city limits so we can keep the dog.
Right.
So the dog, who this whole movie has an inner monologue that is being spoken to the viewer, which is terrible. The acting is awful. God awful on every front. So then the dog doesn't understand what's going on. So it goes, well, I have no idea where I am, so I'm going to go back home. Escapes from New Mexico and is basically trying to find its way home for 2.5 years. That's the plot. There's so much dumb shit that happens along the way, and it's frustrating shit because the dog is this close to getting reunited to the fucking owner, and then it's just like, whoop, Scooby-Doo, and fucking leaves, and it adds more to the movie, and I'm like, no, this is horseshit. Every aspect of it. It befriends a cougar at one point, and the dog and the cougar are friends. The cougar doesn't speak. Yeah, it's so fucking dumb, but I sat through the whole fucking thing. And I want other people to fucking feel misery just like me for having to sit through this god-awful movie. Like, I genuinely do not know the audience these movies are made for. Period. Like, it's so, like, empty, vapid, and just fucking annoying the whole time. But that's what I watched this week. And I'm kind of watching The Handmaid's Tale.
Really?
Yeah. Beth started watching it, and I didn't know the depth of the fucking story. Like, I got into it, like, she's in, like, the 3rd season now. But I was, like, watching it, and I was like, what the fuck are you watching? Because there's a lot of fucking harsh shit in that. Like, all I know about Handmaid's Tale before she gave me the synopsis of the series was, like, all I know is that it's a hard watch. Everyone I've talked to about it has been like, yeah, it's rough. Like, it's very, very intense, very fucking rough. And I'm like, all right, well, that doesn't sound like something I want to watch, so I'm going to just not pay attention to that. And when she started explaining the premise, I was like, fuck. I might start watching it.
It looks tough to watch, so I have not watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'm going to. Because, like, yeah, I like a lot of oppressive media, but, like...
It's one of those things where it's like, man, I don't know what I don't like questioning art when it comes to what it's trying to make people think, but it's like, this is just so fucking horrible. Like, I don't know what the point of it is, you know?
Yeah, right.
Right. But
it looks upsetting. I don't know.
Well, because I didn't know
I think as a man, it's important that we watch it. And
yeah.
The struggles that, like, women have to deal with on a daily basis, especially at the whim of men.
Yeah,
because men are terrible.
Well, in this story, it's men and women that are making it tough for women.
But it's a system that, like, is imposed by men.
Yeah,
and then there's just also the women that go along with it.
Yeah,
they want kids. That's like my understanding of the movie.
So from what she explained to me is that it is in, like, a post-apocalyptic, completely fucking, like, over militarized police state kind of shit with a very heavy-duty religious connotation to it.
Yeah,
where there are people that just cannot conceive. So in order for them to bypass all that, is the wife holds the handmaid who is...
We don't need to get into it.
Yes, it's very fucking bad. Anyway, that aspect of it. But, like, the wives don't seem upset about the situation because they're like, well, I get a baby. This is fucking dope. And they're carrying it for me.
That's essentially that's what I take away from the descriptions I have heard.
Yeah, and, like, there's some interesting shit in between, but I'm just like, dude, she watches all this, like, depressing shit. Like, she watched every single episode of Grey's Anatomy. And like I would sit in on an episode or two and I'd be like fucking blubbering like 5 minutes in, and I'm like, this is so sad. What are you doing? And she was watching it all during the fucking beginning of the pandemic, and I'm like, we're already all freaked out and stressed out. Why are you doing this? Like, fuck. I just want to watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, get the hell away. Turn this off. Make me laugh, Willie Smith. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get watching stuff that fucking horrible.
So
it's kind of why I stopped watching horror movies.
True. Yeah, so I know that people hate on people that like only watch horror movies around October, but that's kind of like how I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel like watching them unless it's like, you know, the spooky season. You feel me?
Well, not
And
even
like,
just
you know,
not even just spooky season time, but like I like watching the horror movies that are like comically gory, or like
Right.
the like old school like goofy ass ones. Like I don't like watching the torture porn shit that comes out nowadays.
Okay,
Like
I'm
I'm not a big fan of that shit. Like I thought I was, and I'm not.
So I've heard such good things about like Saw as like a psychological thriller.
For the first
So
one, yes, the first one is a psychological thriller.
I've heard all of them are good. So I would like to take the time to go through them and watch them. I just haven't yet. And then the Conjuring universe is another thing that I need to make my way through. But that shit seems really scary, so I'm afraid of watching it.
So okay, here's the thing. The Saw, I've seen the first 5 Saw movies. Because they came out right around the time I was an edgy 20-year-old, and it was just perfect fucking timing. But I would say the first one, 100% a psychological thriller, and it was actually fucking brilliant how it was made. Second one also, I would put in that category. Everything after that, absolutely not. It's just fucking torture porn. And it's like, oh, how crazy can the kills get? That's basically what it turns into. But what was the other franchise you were talking about? The Conjuring?
Conjuring, yeah.
Yeah. So
because the new one they just put up on HBO Max. So.
Okay. Because like, so I haven't seen any of those, but I'm assuming those are like the haunted house movies.
Essentially.
Those never make sense to me. Like, just move. Like,
because there's like a whole. They've got like it's like produced by James Wan, so like there's like a whole universe, and he's like the idea man behind it all. So it's all cohesive, and it looks interesting. So I'm interested in watching them.
I've never been able to like buy a haunted house movie. I'm like, nope, just get the fuck out. Like, yeah, it sucks. Fucking move. Back on the market.
I've told you, I get super like with horror movies, like especially newer ones, I get super scared. So like,
yeah,
like I saw Us in theaters, and I made Ashley sleep over at my house. It was before we lived together, so I was like, "Can you stay here?" And like I was just like in bed, like.
See, they don't bother me that much. Like I don't get spooked by horror movies too terribly. Like I just have a hard time like getting invested in them to a point, and or like there's stuff where I'm like, this is just fucking gross, and I just don't like it. Like I watched the first Human Centipede movie, and I was like, this is just dumb. And then when I saw there was a sequel, like we were just sitting around the house and we're like, hey, who wants to watch it? And I'm like, okay. I left the room at a certain point because there was just like 2 bits in the movie. There was one part in the movie that made me physically ill, and there was another part where I was like, all right, fuck this movie. And I just got up and left.
It looks gross.
It was just like,
and then like
fucking dumb.
Did you know they made a third one?
They did not make a third one. There's no way. The director said he was done after the second one because the second one was made specifically to like shit on the fan base for it because of all the gross shit he was getting fan mail for.
Oh, they made one. The Human Centipede 3, the final sequence. They made one.
Oh god.
And it's a complete farce of like what the first one was, I believe.
That's what the second one is. The second one's a farce on the first one. Did you see the second one?
Another one. I didn't see the first one.
Oh.
It looked gross. So like my first experience with like a newer horror movie was I was at my. It's so funny to say because I don't believe in God. I was at my godbrother's house,
Mm-hmm. Your
and
science
he had
brother's house.
there you go, and he had Hostel 2 on, and I watched that, and it made me so uncomfortable.
Mm.
Like the realistic gore and like the torturing of like innocent people and like the graphic detail that it goes into,
Mm-hmm.
it made me so uncomfortable. I was and I was a kid too. I was young when that movie came out.
Mm.
It made me so uncomfortable that like,
Making me feel old.
hey, I'm officially 29.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, you idiot.
I like that I said that and you're like, cool. Like why are you fucking saying that? And
I just
then,
noticed what time it was, and I was like, "Oh, hey, we crossed the threshold. It is now your
there you
journey
go.
around the sun."
So, I don't know, just watching that like, at a young age, like watching that movie made me so uncomfortable that I just like I was like, I don't think I can handle like the realistic gore. And like it still gets to me. Like
Really?
have you seen that movie Lords of Chaos? It's the movie about the band Mayhem.
No.
Movie's awesome.
Hassan was telling me to watch it, and I was like,
It's actually a really like the director's like a really good director and like he knows the guys, so he was like present for some of what happened. So it's like it's a pretty legitimate like detailing of what like the shit that went down
I heard
in
it just kind of shows how much they were just fucking nerds.
nerds. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
100% like they were fucking dorks.
Yeah.
Um, and there's like a I mean like fuck that guy, Dead, the vocalist of Mayhem. You know he killed himself,
Mm-hmm.
and the scene where he does it is so graphic. And I saw it at the Alamo. That was my first movie that I went to the Alamo Draft House to see.
Mm-hmm.
I almost threw up. Like it like the like cuz like the way the kid killed himself was he slit his wrists,
Mm-hmm.
he slit his throat, and then he
Mm-hmm.
blew his head off with a shotgun.
Well, you got to be thorough.
And they show you how he
Yeah.
did like he does and it's like super graphic. It's just it made me like that was another time that I felt super uncomfortable and like I don't know like so like I never watched the Human Centipede, Hostel 1 I never saw.
See, I.
Saw I never watched any of the Saw movies
Mm-hmm.
because of that like you know that uncomfortable that uncomfy feeling that I get when it comes to realistic
Mm.
shit like that.
See, I mean, I went to see Hostel 1 and 2 in theaters. And both I was like, this is great because it was just so over the top.
Right.
Where it was falling in the realm of like Friday the 13th kind of thing where I'm like it's just over the top and ridiculous. Um,
Yeah, like the hokey shit from like the 80s and 90s doesn't gross me out.
yeah.
Even like the thing like is scary, but
Hmm.
it doesn't like make me uncomfortable because it's an alien. So it's like, oh,
I
like
think
this is
like
just
that
it's over the top, you know?
yeah. Human Centipede 2 is the only horror movie in recent years that has made me go like that's enough. I'm done.
True.
Like I've sat through some very like ridiculous gore porn movies. Like
Hmm.
I'm at the point now where I'm like I won't watch them. But there was a point where I was like, all right, I'll watch this shit to see some fucking crazy practical effects because like I
Yeah.
detach immediately from everything I'm seeing because I'm watching it from like a special effects side of things.
Right.
So like the tension and the gore are like gross, but I'm like that looks fucking really real. Like in one of the Hostel movies, one of the guys gets his Achilles tendon slit, and it's the grossest fucking thing ever. And I got a flashback to when the first time I saw that was when I was a kid and I watched an episode of Oz where there were two guys playing basketball and some guy fucking took a razor to his Achilles tendons and it grossed me out so much and I was like, I didn't know that could happen. That's so bad. um, why would anyone do this? Why am I watching Oz at 9? This is a terrible fucking idea. Uh, but no, or maybe I was 10. I don't remember. But yeah, it's like those things were so hyper violent, but they're fucking gross.
Yeah.
Human Centipede 2 was just like fucking disgusting, and not in like a fun way. It was just like they're making this movie to make fun of the audience, and it's just like, well, let's do the grossest fucking thing we can because these idiots want this movie to be fucking disgusting. That's the whole plot of the movie. The whole plot of the movie is just like shitting on the first movie. And it's I don't think it's worth watching. I don't think it has any merit to it whatsoever. And like
yeah, I don't know. It just, like I said, like the hyper realistic shit makes me super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So like,
I really think I can't think of any other movie that really made me feel that fucking disgusting.
I think it just like throws back to that, like me being that kid watching Hostel 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like being like, oh, people watch this kind of shit. Like don't get me wrong, I'm a horror head. I love like fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre is incredible. You know, I love Scream, I love Hellraiser, Alien, Predator, all that shit.
Yeah.
I like some fucking psycho shit, but it's like you know, the 2000s have become like a breeding ground for like they had because you know we're in 2021 now. Jesus fucking Christ, I feel so old.
Speak for yourself.
You feel old too. I turned 29. You're like, I feel old as shit.
Yeah. I feel old because of how much older than you I am, but it's okay.
The fucking but the 2000s was filled with like torture porn. Like so many movies came out like that, and it's just like,
because like think of all the edgelords of the mid to late 2000s, like 2008 to like 16. Feel was like the revolution summer of edgelords. It's like if you wanted like that period, like that period of time was like, all right, offensive humor is up here, super gory shit is up here, fucking if you owned stock in fedoras and vests, they were up here. You would make bank if you were an early fucking Monster Energy drink stockholder, billionaire by now.
Yeah.
Don't ever change, guys. You know, stick with it. Be that way until you're in your 50s.
All right, I think that's a pretty good place to wrap it up.
Oh yeah. Where let's see. Any last minute things? Did you listen to any cool music this week?
I did.
Did you listen to the new Akilu record?
Yes, that's what I was about to talk about.
Neat. We're on the same page.
Yeah, I listened to that today. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I fucks with it. I'm expecting my new Dead Heat record in the mail sometime soon too, from
Very
Trippy
cool.
Bees.
Hey. I've also been taking a pretty deep dive into like old Killswitch Engage, like Alive or Just Breathing.
Oh yeah, I
That
noticed
record-
when you shared something from that Terrence Williams guy, I think is his name. I don't remember who it was. You shared something from that or Trevor or something. The fucking white kid that makes a bunch of stupid ass fucking videos.
Oh, that was a meme that I shared today. But
Yeah,
that's not.
yeah.
I mean, I shared that last year. I wasn't listening to Alive or Just Breathing back then, but that
Oh.
meme geeks me out because he used My Last Serenade in it. That fucking
Yeah, as soon as he hit that riff, and I was
the-
like, oh yeah, cool. And then you were just now talking about Killswitch.
I mean, that record is just perfect. So I've been listening to it a lot lately. So
I mean, I still fuck with Killswitch Engage. I got made fun of for liking them when I did, because you know.
I do too. Fucking dickhead that lives downstairs shits on me for liking them, but I don't care. I love that shit.
We owe him almost 2 dimes now.
Fuck him. I'm not paying him shit.
No, like the yeah, I mean those, like that first record is fucking good. I don't care what anyone says.
I like the first one with Howard too. At the End of Heartache. That's a great
Yeah,
record.
that was good too. Like
So I forgot to do this at the beginning of the show, but follow us on Twitter.
oh, they're never gonna follow us now.
I know. Fuck me. All right. Adult Crash Pod at Adult Crash Pod on Twitter, at Adult Crash Podcast on Instagram, feel free to email us recommendations or, just if you want to talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
Adultcrashpod at gmail. Yeah, at gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we had a question on Instagram. Dennis asked why he has not been asked on the show yet.
Because you don't like guests.
Well, we haven't had guests yet, so I'd be willing to. I'd be willing to have Dennis as our first guest.
I would go back to episode 1-ish or 2-ish and point out where you said we don't need anyone on the show.
I would like to go back to those whatever episode that was in and say that I said, let's see where we're at. Okay. This is our 9th episode, and I don't think anybody but Jeremy listens to this. So
21 cents.
Let's build a following before we have guests on. Is all I'm saying.
No, that's fair. I'm also okay. I'm cool with Dennis being on it.
I would love to have Dennis on it.
I would too.
I would need to like send him a microphone and be like, "Hey, talk into this." Don't because he like his birthday was yesterday.
Yeah.
He talks on the phone in the bathroom, and I don't want.
I'm so fine with that though. Like that's so on brand. That's on brand for Dennis.
It's on brand for him, but it's gonna sound like shit, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about him taking the phone call in the bathroom. I'm worried about it not sounding as good as my voice or your voice because we sound immaculate.
Yeah, I would love to have him on. I'd love to have Matt on. If we could give Germ like a fucking cloak and voice changer, have him on.
He won't do it.
I know he won't. I'll make him.
We'll talk to him. Well, he'll hear that and be like, "No."
All right, fine. I won't make him. I'll just ask him nicely. We can get Brendan to do it. Maybe he'd probably have fun.
He probably wouldn't do it.
He probably wouldn't do it either. Why would anyone do it?
He doesn't listen to podcasts.
Oh, well, he doesn't have to listen to him. He just has to be on one.
Maybe.
I talked to Vern and LT about it, and they were both like, "Yeah, they do it."
Oh yeah.
They were here earlier. They were hanging out, and I was like, if I cleared it with you first, I'd been like, "Yo, you guys should just like sit upstairs with me and talk shit."
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, so that's what we thought about Army of the Dead, Doomsday Clock, and 90s movies.
I would like to do a deeper dive on 90s movies because
I'm down for that. I bought T2 on fucking iTunes the other day, and I watched that, and it's still one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's the best action movie about a Tamagotchi ever. I love Terminator 2. I love Terminator 2. On that note,
fucking goodbye, Jordo.
What? God, don't be mad, you fucking salt lick.
You start my fucking birthday on a sour note, you bastard.
I didn't start it on a sour note. I gave you a fucking good joke for your birthday. Happy birthday. You know what's worse than hailing cats and dogs? A cab. Hailing a cab.
Oh.
Happy birthday. All right. Check out all of our shit. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Share it Share it with people or don't. That's cool. That's our job.
Yeah.
Don't do any work for us. We'll do it ourselves.
We'll do it ourselves. That's right.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Bye. Peace.